Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers and this is Andy 245, and we're still working with the Ultimate Walker. We need to make sure that you go ahead and polish everything, and you'll need to have your split screen with the graph editor on the bottom. I've already done all my work, polishing work. Just go into the curves, just make sure everything looks good. Make sure your walk cycle is looks great. You don't have your feet going through the floor. Little things like that. Double check everything. Make sure that you're not anticipating any overlapping and follow through animation like I did before. And just make sure you have these keys that are offset. Make sure they're offset in a right manner. And everything's polished. Everything looks good. If everything looks good to you, then you need to move forward. Go ahead. And if you're ready to go ahead and submit your animation, we need to get it into a PlayBlast mode. I'm going to show you different, we're going to have 3 different PlayBlasts. We're going to have a side view, we're going to have a front perspective, and one from the back perspective, so I can see all views, front and back perspective. And from now on, that's what we're going to be doing. I need to turn this off, so I need to go into my attributes and turn the reference off. I also need to turn the grid off. I don't need to see the grid, I just want to see the ground. So to do that, you go to Show, and you go to Viewport, and then turn the grid off here. We also want to turn off the controllers. I go ahead and turn off those controllers. If you don't see a layer with controllers on and off, you can go into Show, and then you can go to Viewport, and you can turn off the NURBS curves here. Okay. Now my scene is clean. Okay, I need to have my scene timecode on. So go to Display, Heads Up Display, and make sure your scene timecode is checkmarked. Okay, I see it down here. I can play my animation. I check it for the last time, making sure everything looks good, and it does. So I'm going to stop it, go back to the beginning. Okay, so we have like a little bit of a glitch. So you've got to turn off either frame 24 or turn off frame 0. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to take probably off 24, and let's see what it looks like. Or keep 24 on and then move this up to frame 1. So we start on frame 1. So I'm going to move it forward, and then I'm going to move it back to frame 1, so it starts on frame 1. Okay, and I can type in frame 1 here if I want to. That way it just solidifies that frame. Okay, right. So we're going to play the animation, and you can see it's perfectly cycled now. All right, with that done, I need to go ahead and start looking at my viewport. So I need to get this zoomed in. I want the best possible quality PlayBlast I can get. So I'm going to turn on my mask. Okay, turn on my resolution gate and my mask. Okay, I need to frame this up nicely so I get a nice, not down too far but not too far up. I can't see the legs, so something that looks like this for perspective, from the front perspective. Okay, it's pretty much eye level. All right. Okay, so I need to zoom in a little bit. Okay, like that. All right. If you need to have your field chart on, you can do that as well if you want to. Okay. I do not want viewpoints from too far up or too far down. So just kind of right in the middle there. Something like that would work really good. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that would work really nice. Okay, so I'm going to put on my safe action area, because that's where I cannot go out of. So I can zoom up even farther if I want to. Okay, that looks really good. I got it centered, my field chart. Okay, let's center that a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. So I'm 8 up here and 8 down here. So you can see that's kind of looking good right there. So I've got 8 where the feet are, 8 where the top is, okay? And I'm pretty much in the center here, pretty close to the center. There we go. So I'm using my field chart to center that. I'm going to go ahead and click that off. Now that I'm finished with that, I'm going to add this camera to my my view. So I'm going to add a bookmark. So I'm going to edit bookmarks. I'm going to click on new bookmark. I'm going to call this perspective front, PERSP_front. Okay. I'm going to click on here, hit the enter key, and I'm going to apply that and close. I got a front perspective. Now I'm going to go back around to the back perspective like that, so I can see the back of it walking. All right, back perspective. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to go ahead and get my field chart and see where I'm at with that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I can get it between the 2 8s here in the center to 2 8s. 8 down here, 8 up here, 8 for the bottom, 8 for the top, and then center it. Turn off the field chart. And I'm going to go to View, Bookmarks, Edit Bookmarks. I'm going to click on New Bookmark. I'm going to call this PERSP, P-E-R-S-P, back. Okay. And I'm going to hit Enter, and I click Apply, and then Close. All right, so I've got my perspective in the back. I'm going to look at that. You notice the back foot almost goes out, but it doesn't, so that's okay. I could probably do a better job at setting this camera up, so I'm going to stop that. I'm going to go until the foot is right like that, on like frame 12, and I'm going to, you guessed it, I'm going to move it up so it fits in the field chart again. That's going to be helpful for me. And I'm going to go back to 8 and 8, so I need to kind of get that set up. 8 and 8. Top and bottom, kind of keep that as a rule. Center it, looks good. And turn that field chart off. That way, when we play it, it doesn't look like it's going out of the frame. There we go, that looks better. And so I'm going to add another bookmark. If I click on this, you can't really, you can delete it later, but I'm just going to edit a new, and I'm going to call this perspective back, FIN or something like that, and hit enter and apply. There we go. All right, see if it worked. Let's go to View, Bookmarks. No, it didn't catch for some reason. Let me try it again. Looking through my perspective. Get my grid. There we go, that looks better. Let me rotate around there a little bit more. The back view, there we go. That looks good. Back view. Okay, let's try that again. View, bookmarks, edit bookmarks, and I'm going to rename it. I think I just renamed that other one, so I'm just going to do back. PERSP, and hit enter, and that should work now. Now it added it to it. I made a mistake last time, so I'm going to close that. So I got my front and my back. So turn off that. So let's play it. Here we go. Let's go to my front. That looks good. All right, let's go back to my back. Okay. All right, so I need a side view, so I'm going to go to the side. A side view of this. Let's turn that on. Okay, to get everything, safe title or safe action area. Make sure your gate is on. Okay, and we're going to turn off the grid, and that's easy to do. You can go to show and viewport and turn grid off. This and zoom in. Let's get a nice big view of that. Let's play the animation. Okay, so I'll need that view. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do, I'm going to do the side view first. So I'm going to right click over it and go to PlayBlast. All right, so AVI, XFID quality 100. Okay, we haven't set the camera up yet, but this is the side view. Okay, we want the biggest view we can. So I am going to go into my render settings, and I don't care if it says I'm going to go ahead and do Arnold renderer, even though we're not going to use it. Just go to the comments tab and renderable camera perspective. We're not going to render anything. Full. Let's go HD 1080. Okay. And that's the camera view we want. And we'll go ahead, we got that set up. And now I'm going to go in here and get this set up to where it fits within the frame. We'll play it, make sure. Oh, he's almost going out on the top, so let me move that back and just move it down. Okay, that looks really good. So I'm going to stop it, go back, and I'm going to go ahead and create a PlayBlast of this. AVI, everything looks good. From window, we want from render settings. Scale 1, frame padding, we can do that to 2. This will be our first PlayBlast. And we want to put our name on here. So I think this is really important that we put our name on there. Okay. Let's do Walker side view. Gotta name it. Okay, Walker side view and browse. We want to put that on the desktop, so I'm going to do that on the desktop. Okay. And it wants us to rename it again. So J Byers, put your first and last name. Walker side view. Okay. And I'm going to highlight that and copy that so I don't have to keep typing things, same things over and over again. I'll just kind of rename it. Control C. Go ahead and save that. There we go. And PlayBlast. There we go. Don't worry, it's the player doesn't do a good job at repeating it. It's okay. I'm going to turn that off. Some viewers do better than others. Okay, so that one's done. All right, and looks good. Now we're going to do the front view. That's important. So I'm going to zoom in on the front view. And I'm going to go ahead and add the, get that added, and I'm going to take the show, I'm going to take the grid off. I'm going to play this, see if it stays in frame. I need to probably put safe action on here so I see that it's, there we go, just moving it down a little bit. That looks good. So I want this front view, or the side view, I should say. That's the side view of your animation PlayBlast as well. Okay. That way it can grade you accurately. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, PlayBlast. We're going to play it from window. You don't really have to change anything from render settings. I'm sorry. Play it from render settings. Padding of 2. We're just going to rename this. Okay, you want to put it on our desktop. Browse, desktop. And you can see I've got my animation in here. JBuyers. Should be in here somewhere. Anyway, there it is, side view. So I'm going to, I already copied it, so I'm going to go Control V. And this one, we've already got one of those, so we want to go to, that's the side view. This will be the front view. Let's just call that front. I know it's not correct with the viewport, but that'll work. Front view and PlayBlast. There we go. And there it is. Yeah, the player's glitchy, so don't worry. It's not yours. You're not doing it. Just having a hard time. Okay, that one's done. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the perspective viewports. Okay, all right. And if we want to add more lighting, we can at this point. It's probably a good idea. And the lighting scenario I usually do, since I already have the cameras all set up, all I have to do is go in here and add some lights. So I'm going to go create lights, directional light, move that up, and rotate that down on the character. Probably do the front one first, front side. As you can see that if I'm rotating this, it's going to illuminate the front and the side. Okay. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it, Control D, and rotate this one to the back like this. So you can see, rotate it a little bit more like this. Okay, and then when you go to lighting, you can go to use all lights, use selected lights, use all lights. There we go. So now we are getting a better view of it. More interesting view, right, of the character, which is kind of cool. So the bot looks more shiny and stuff. And also I can do, what's going to be kind of cool is I can go to the renderer, go to viewport renderer, and add screen space ambient occlusion, which will be nice. There we go. So I can turn the radius down a little bit, add a little more filter radius to it, like that, and sample that up to 32. And the amount we can add, that'll be nice. It'll ground our object now. So when I play the animation, you can see that it looks a little nicer. There we go. So the specularity of the character has to do with the object itself. I have no idea what kind of texture they put on this thing. There's his toe. I don't really want to go through every single one of these. Upper leg. I think the thing that bothers me the most is probably just this part. So I just got to find that one. The mesh body. There we go. The mesh body. So the mesh body, we can go into Control A. Mesh body. Ooh, there it is. And so it's got a Fong on it, so that means that the specular color There we go. We can turn that off or lower it. Cozy and power. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we can turn the specularity off on that to there. It's much better. There we go. And then I can go back to my view and go to my bookmarks, my front. There we go. And notice because it is because I went to, this might not work. Well, it's a little bit off. Not too bad. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to zoom out just a smidgen and now play it much nicer. I'm not going up out of that too far. I can kind of move this while it's actually working. There we go. I just moved it around a little bit. That looks great. I've got some shadow on the bottom. It looks like it's off the ground a little bit. That's just the fake ambient occlusion. It's on the ground. Maybe it isn't. Ooh. Yeah, it is. It's on the ground. It just looks like it's kind of floating around a little bit. But it should be, yeah, it's on the ground. So it's good. All right, so that looks good. And so we're ready to do a play blast on this one. All right, so now we got this part. And we're going to go to right click over it and go to, and we've got our time code. Everything looks good. Play blast. Do you think it'll be, if I'm doing by the camera, it will probably won't give me a play blast, will it? Probably going to have to bring that back out again. That probably won't work for us, will it? Through the camera. So presets, full screen, there we go. And we probably want it to be full screen on this so we can see our time code. Because I don't think it's capturing it. And we gotta have it. All right, so I'm going to go in here, and when we do a play blast with this, we want it to be through from our window. And now we can go in here and browse. And we want our desktop, and we can scroll down, and I can see that I've got Walker front view, side view, and this time we're going to do perspective front, PERSP front. There we go. And save it. Okay, and we're going to do a play blast of that. And there's the time code at the bottom here. It's hard to see, but it is there. Same time code. There it is. So we will have to do full window for the perspective ones. I just need it for perspective. I just need to see the time code for the perspective ones, okay? And let's do the back. Back perspective, time code's there. Right click over it, play blast. Same thing, everything's set up from window this time. Make sure it's from window. And let's go in here and see what we get for browse. I'm doing mine to the desktop, and just make sure you don't forget that they're there. I forget to turn it in. All right, perspective front view, and this will be perspective back view, so that'll work. So we want 4 play blasts this time as we get into more complex characters. Gotta get rid of that T. There we go. And oh my goodness. The T just doesn't want to go away. All right, so save it and play blast. So front perspective, back perspective, front and side view. There we go. Time code is there. I can see it right there. All right. Just double check the time code. Take points off if you don't have it. So close that. All right, so everything's done with this one. Get it back to normal, right? And we are good to go. All right, that's it. And I will see you in the next video. Of course, I'm going to have extra credit. You can do a jump up and down and have fun with that, but it needs to look realistic, and you need to offset everything. And if you're missing stuff, of course, you won't get full credit. I'll give you as much credit as it deserves as far as the quality of your jump up and down animation. So you're gonna, for extra credit, you're gonna have the ball jump up and down. You want to offset the legs. Again, you don't want tweening. You don't want the legs to go up at the same time. So and then you want anticipation. So everything that you've learned so far, you're going to add to the extra credit if you want to do that. Of course, you don't have to. Extra credit will be 10 points. And I will see you in the next module, module 8. All right. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.